In my opinion, I definitely wanted to react to something based on this because I just simply wanted to talk about it because, oh my gosh, I went to go see the movie, and biasly, non-biasly, of course, yes, it's very biasly for me to speak on it because I've been a Michael Jackson fan for my entire life. I absolutely love his music and everything about him and stuff like that. But I mean, watching that movie, oh my god. So there's going to probably be some spoilers in here, you know, like I'm going to talk about some things, whatever and call it. So if you haven't seen the movie, sadly, you can't watch the video until you've seen it or whatever and call it. Or if you don't care, you know, like, hey, how are you? That movie, in my opinion, like I said, was the best movie I think I've ever seen in my entire life, you know, and it's based on, again, true story, you know, like his literal, like, uncles, brothers, you know, cousins, all these people within his family are in the movie, either executive producing it, playing people, acting, whatever, you know, casting, blah, 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 etc. I thought it was phenomenal, and I'm, like, such a big fan, again, based on Michael Jackson, but then also, you know, like, just seeing the movie or whatever you call it in itself. It reminded me of watching the Elvis Presley movie for the first time, not knowing much about Elvis Presley, but then, you know, like, watching it, becoming a big fan of him. I'm already a big fan of Michael, like I said, a billion times, and I think of so many other people are, of course, but man, that movie was 10 of fucking 10, and I highly recommend you go see it right now, as soon as possible, because I want to go see it already again, and I just saw it, like, not even 24 hours ago. I know for this movie, a lot of it is true, just based on what, you know, people have said throughout
Welcome to Watch
life
Mojo.
and everything.
And today we're counting down our
and I know these people are trustable,
that director
but I feel like between a non-fictional or a fictional thing, I mean, guys, come on.
Right and wrong. Make sure you've
everything should be a fucking fact. The only thing that is, like, you know, not true is Janet Jackson not being portrayed in the movie because she simply, you know, kindly said she declined it, and that's, you know, fine. But yes, it does make a little things, you could say, awkward because, well, hey, you know, where's your sister?
Major spoiler warning is now in effect.
When you would be practicing, you were very heavily disciplined by your father.
Yeah, see, I saw this video or whatever and called. I was telling Mom this yesterday or whatever and called, like, either like? This morning or, like, you know, on the somewhere, whatever.
Number 10, MTV.
But, like, before he died, so obviously he died in 2009 or whatever you call it, but it's also like the fact of he said and came out, you know, like, basically, if I didn't perform perfect, you know, you were beat to death or whatever you call it. Then we were also talking about it or whatever you call it, as in, like, yo, for Michael Jackson's sake, obviously I hope no one was ever abused, anyone in the world or whatever you call it, but if he was only abused, that's gotta fucking suck or whatever you call it and be, like, really hard or whatever you call it for anyone. So I kind of, you could say, hope that others were abused just, you know, to make him, so to speak, somehow feel better or whatever you call it, because, like, if it was, like, a single-handedly only Michael, because, I mean, you know, again, spoiler alert, you know, like, in effect, just like the video said or whatever you call it, but, you know, in the movie, they really only show him. They don't really show any, you know...
He refused to play the Billie Jean video. Right.
Refused to play the Billie Jean
Number
video?
10. MTV refused to play the Billie Jean video.
Okay,
right.
Never, sorry. Never mind. That's crazy. Like how they were like, you know, oh, they usually don't play black artists or whatever you call it. And mind you, yes, I understand about the time and shit and how it's different now, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, shit, man, even what? Like, Billie Jean came out like the 80s, 70s, whatever you call it. I mean, that's not really that long ago, whatever you call it. We were still dealing with shit like that.
From a movie scene, I said don't mind, but what do you mean?
In the network's early years, MTV's rotation was dominated by white rock acts, and Billie Jean was not treated as an obvious fit for the channel. That changed when the song became too big to ignore. CBS Records chief Walter Yetnikoff pushed MTV to air the video, reportedly threatening to pull the label's other artists from the network if Jackson continued to be shut out. Once Billie Jean entered rotation, the dam broke. However, the scene in which Yetnikoff, played in the biopic by Mike Myers, chews out MTV executive Bob Pittman is disputed by Les Garland, then MTV Network's senior executive vice president of programming. Garland told Billboard there was, quote, never a threat from Walter Yetnikoff, saying that he, quote, got more upset because we didn't play Willie Nelson or Barbra Streisand.
Tony Bennett. On the break.
Number 9.
Bubbles!
Michael adopted Bubbles in 1981.
Dude, oh, that was so sick.
There is a celebrity sitting
I
in
just
our
saw this.
I didn't get a chance to do the introduction.
Yo, monkeys are one of my top 5 favorite animal, whatever you call it. You got butterflies, monkeys, a deer, and then dog and cat. Or wait, ready? Like dog, cat, butterfly, monkey, and then what else did I say? Dear. So, yeah, okay, sorry.
As I was saying.
Bubbles is such a famous part of Michael's
Or like a
mythology that it's
chimpanzee,
easy
some kind
to
of, you could
forget
say,
the
yeah.
timeline. But 1981 is too early. Bubbles was born in 1983, which obviously means Michael couldn't have adopted him in 1981 before Thriller was even released. Reports differ on the exact...
See, like, this is the shit that people attack the Elvis movie for, or whatever you can call it, and I fucking think it's dumb. I mean, do you want it to maybe be, you know, like, spot on everything? Maybe, sure, but, like, it's not a big fucking detail, whatever you can call it, to notice. They said that, I guess, Bubbles was born in 1983, or whatever you can call it, and in the movie it said something about how he picked him up, or whatever you can call it, and, you know, adopted him, whatever, in 1981. So, oh my gosh, look it. That's... Shut up!
details, but the better supported general timeline places Bubbles entering Jackson's life in the mid-1980s.
I did not know he
Placing
was
Bubbles
such a
this
massive
early-
Disney fan. Wow, that is fire. Especially, like, you know, Peter Pan being his top favorite movie. I, like, so badly want my friend to see it or whatever and call it, but he's like, you know, nah, probably not going to. And I want to say, you know, like, that for the reason of, like, yo, you need to go see it because of this. But, like, it's a fucking spoiler, kind of, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. But then, same thing with giraffes, you know? Like, motherfucker, I didn't know he had a fucking llama alpaca-looking thing. I didn't know he had a giraffe, like...
Lee makes Jackson's eccentric image seem more established than it really was during the off-the-wall and early Thriller years. The movie is clearly interested in Michael's loneliness, but this is one case where the symbol may have been pulled forward for thematic convenience.
Dr. Marty Dennis was Jackson's veterinarian.
He had just a very pure
like Jerry
concern for
Springer.
every animal on that property.
But Bubbles had a special place in Jackson's heart. He was a one-time actor. And for Michael Jackson, a one-time best friend.
Number 8. Suzanne DePass discovered the Jackson 5. Wrong.
He called me one day and he said, listen, I want you to come down to my apartment. There's something I think you need to see. And I went, Bobby Taylor, I am not coming to your apartment, period. He said, no, it's nothing like that. So I went down to, I think I was on the 22nd floor and he was like on the 10th floor.
Berry Gordy's creative assistant, played in Michael by Laura Harrier, was absolutely important to the Jackson 5's Motown story. But calling her the person who discovered them oversimplifies the record. The stronger historical claim belongs to Bobby Taylor of Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers. Taylor saw the Jackson 5
So, like, something like that, I
Chicago's
simply don't know, and I was, in a way, already saying this before, you know, like, I watched the video or, like, you know, started recording. I was like, bro, I don't care, like, you know, what you see on the internet or whatever you call it. I mean, like, you didn't personally know Michael or anyone in the family or whatever you call it. So, like, realistically, I almost feel like you can't say as if, oh, yeah, I know, like, this is non-fictional or whatever you call it. Or, like, this is a fact right here or whatever you call it. It's like, you don't know, bruh.
Regal Theater, helped bring them into Motown's orbit, and played a key role in arranging their initial audition.
And he
That's
kind of
the
clapped
problem
his
with the
hands
world
and
and the
said,
internet.
okay, you guys,
see something,
this is
they
Suzanne
believe it.
DePass, and she works for Mr. Gordy, and she can get us the audition with Motown. Because
Watching the movie, though, made me feel so much beyond more relatable to Michael Jackson than I ever thought I was. It's insane.
I was mobbed up.
Insanity.
And so they
Became
got up
insane, didn't it?
and they sang,
always
I
do
think,
that,
3 or
bro.
4 songs a cappella.
Whenever I want to say
And
insanity,
it was
insanity or insane, I say like both, and it comes
was
out
really
insane.
magical.
DePass then became an important internal advocate at Motown,
my fucking
helping
nose,
move the
man.
group through the system and into Berry Gordy's attention. She even designed the family band's wardrobe. But the version of events depicted in the film, in which Joe Jackson creeps her out backstage, isn't the real deal.
I got mad props for bringing them to the company. And in fact, the next group that I wanted to bring, they didn't even have to see them. He just said, sign them.
Huh. Was it a good group, the next one?
Yeah, the Commodores with Lionel Richie.
Number 7. Michael surprise announced the Jacksons' breakup. Right.
When you walked into Dodger Stadium tonight, you couldn't help but be impressed with the stage. It's a monstrosity, 6 or 7 stories high in dead center field. Fans without seats on the grass will need a good pair of binoculars for their in-person up-close look at the Jacksons.
This one sounds too theatrical to be true, but it really happened, more or less. The 1984 Victory Tour was complicated by money disputes, pressure from promoters, Michael's discomfort with the project, and the obvious fact that he had outgrown the group after Thriller. At the December 9th
No, he didn't outgrow the group, or at least according to the movie kind of thing, you know. I mean, he, was sick of being told what to do, wanted to simply live his life and make, solo things just like anyone would ever want to do, you know. I mean, just like me right now, for example. It's like everyone telling me to go get a job or whatever and call it, yo, take this job offer, take that job offer or whatever and call it. You know, like, I never take anything for granted. I'm, obviously sitting here thinking of so many different things beyond words and whatever it is, kind of thing. Both ways, positive and negative. But I'm, wanting to do my own thing. I mean, why are people so, hell-bent, shaped, whatever kind of word you want to use or whatever and call it, ruling my life or whatever and call it? I mean, let me live. I mean, I'm, I don't have certain things in my life or whatever and call it, but I also have some certain things in my life or whatever and call it, and I'm grateful for it. So it's like, I'm happy. I'm, in the terms of the word successful, like, I am successful in a way because I am happy doing what I'm doing. And, like, I mean, you just simply look it up and I can relate to the word successful or whatever and call it. Again, like, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I'm not, struggling with too much. Obviously, I'm not sitting here saying I'm perfect, but I mean, I'm doing what, I'm, happy doing or whatever and call it. So, I mean,
1984 concert at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, Michael announced that it would be the last time the brothers would perform together, catching at least some of the family off guard.
The show was over in just an hour and 40 minutes.
I thought it was too short.
Thought it was too short?
Yes, but it was very good.
It was the best concert I ever saw.
I thought it was like a historical event. It was like, it was worth everything. It was so great, and he was incredible, and he's just the greatest. He was like the Beatles,
Yeah. That moment effectively ended plans for more touring legs and marked a decisive break between Michael Jackson, global solo superstar, and Michael Jackson, member of the Jacksons. With that said, though, there's no evidence to suggest that Michael dramatically severed ties with his father after the performance.
I was about to say, like, basically, within a 50-year span or whatever you call it, it was literally Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, and then the Beatles.
Smoke, pirate.
I mean, obviously, mind you, yeah, there was a bunch of other fucking people, like Prince and more, or whatever you call it, but it's like, just like the top fucking tier out of the last 50 years from like 1950 to 2000.
It says the Beatles were made in the 60s, so I don't know. Probably the Beatles.
Because when was Michael Jackson born? Hey Siri, when was Michael Jackson born?
Technics and Michael. Michael was at his gyroscopic best.
Well, just because these people were like, like, oh, he reminded them of the Beatles or whatever and caught, and I was like, huh?
Eyes were on him. This was billed as a Jackson's tour, but it was superstar Michael everyone came to see, and he didn't disappoint.
Number 6. The Jackson 5 sang Never Can Say Goodbye for Motown. Wrong.
I never can say goodbye.
Whether it's wrong or not, I just feel like I hate, almost you could say, like, watching videos like this. I mean, I like watching it to see, like, oh, what do people have to say about it? But then when, like, I just don't believe it. No. Whether it's true or it's not,
Michael uses Never Can Say Goodbye as the Jackson 5's big Motown breakthrough number. But the truth is, that song was still years away. Written by Clifton Davis, the track was recorded by the Jackson 5 in 1970.
Oh, this song didn't come out or whatever and call it, but like, oh, they sang it for this? Nope, that's actually false because, whoop, it wasn't even released. I mean, like, bro, who fucking cares?
And
realistically, the soundtrack or whatever and call it, that's another thing, whatever and call it. In the soundtrack, there's like, what, 13 songs, I believe, or something like that? There was so much more music in the movie than there was on the soundtrack. And personally, also to me, I want the shit from the movie because, like, Jafar actually sings in the fucking movie or whatever and call it, kind of thing. I was thinking, oh, look at the soundtrack. It's only Michael Jackson, it doesn't say like Jafar or anything or whatever and call it, or like whoever else. So I'm like, oh, it's probably just going to be like Michael Jackson. He's going to lip sync over it, whatever kind of thing. And no, that's not how it was. I mean, like, yes, partially it was for some parts, obviously, but I mean, that was fucking sick and amazing. I absolutely love that. Like Jafar sounded really great or whatever and call it for like, especially a lot of the acapella type of things when he's like in the studio and they kind of cut just to him showing his voice and all that, blah, blah, blah. It was great, dude.
As a single,
so I kind of want that soundtrack in a way to drop.
Reaching
where, like,
number 2
it's the
on the
full
Billboard Hot
deluxe
100
version of it, like all of the shit from the movie.
In other words, it couldn't have been part of the group's pre-Motown audition or early showcase material. Historically, the Jackson 5's appeal to Motown was rooted in their explosive live energy.
I just feel like that too, you know, like whenever I was making my videos and stuff, like I just recently turned the comments back on all my Michael Jackson videos just because I was like, well, hey, the movie's coming out, you know, like let's see what people have to say, or, you know, if anyone wants to watch it before or have something nice to say, hopefully. Man, like just the controversy and people like saying so much shit or whatever and caught. I mean, like whether it's true or it's not, I mean, like, dude, my God, I mean, like, you know, don't bring that shit, you know, here or whatever and caught. I mean, you know, like, I can't do anything about that and change anything of it or whatever and caught. Cool, okay, some things like that are nice to know, I guess, you know, but...
Tight harmonies and ability to channel the soul showmanship of acts like James Brown.
Come on, baby, I got the, yeah.
Number 5. Berry Gordy was Michael's mentor. Right.
Berry Gordy, I want you to know, in my heart and mind, you are a genius and a king. And without you, Berry Gordy, I don't think music would be the same today.
During the Jackson 5's Motown years, the head of the label was crucial. The film shows Gordy guiding Michael through the early Motown machine, and that tracks with the broader reality of how Motown worked. Gordy's label didn't simply release records. It trained, packaged, groomed, and refined performers for mass appeal. For a child star like Michael, that environment was formative.
Berry Gordy, you promised us 4 consecutive #1 records, and you delivered them all. I'll never forget it. It was a first in music history.
Motown taught him and his family professionalism, crossover strategy, stage discipline, and the mechanics of pop stardom. The movie is right to present Gordy as a warmer counterweight to Joseph.
So that's the guy I thought it was.
Still a businessman, absolutely, but also someone who helped Michael understand how raw talent becomes a record, a brand, and eventually a phenomenon.
Your faith makes it possible for us to be here today.
Make shit.
We love you from the bottom of our hearts, sincerely. And I just want you to know that without you, my mother and my father, I don't think we would be here. And of course, God.
Number 4. Joe Jackson was fired by fax. Wrong. This is the kind of biopic detail that feels perfect on screen because it gives a messy professional break a titillating cinematic treatment. Michael hired John Branca, took control of his business life, and his father got pushed out by fax. The problem is that the power shift is true, but the exact fired by fax version appears to be dramatized. Branca did become a major figure in Michael's career.
What a great cast through, like, all of them, dude.
The movie is right that Michael's adult independence required significantly loosening Joseph's grip. By the off-the-wall and thriller eras, Michael was no longer just the child star managed by his father. He was becoming a solo artist with his own lawyer, producer, label relationships, and creative ambitions.
And he was a legal adult, so it's like, what the fuck can you do, Joseph? I mean, father, which was never fucking, you know, mentioned ever once. Like, why the fuck would you ever have your kids, you know, like, yes, sir, yes, Joseph. Like, it's fucking father, it's dad, it's, you know, daddy. Like, you know, like, that's crazy. They should have seen it right there where you know, like, oh my gosh, there's a problem.
Number 3. The number of Jackson children. Wrong.
Jackie Jackson. I'm the oldest Jackson. And Tito Jackson. The swingin'est Jackson. And Marlon Jackson. The dancing'est Jackson. And Michael Jackson. The skinniest Jackson. And Randy Jackson. The cutest Jackson.
Joseph and Catherine Jackson had 10 children together. Rebby, Jackie, Tito.
Yeah, well, I was right. So there was 10 kids total.
Jermaine, Latoya, Marlon, Brandon, Michael, Randy, and Janet. Brandon.
Yeah. Well, because like I said, whenever I looked it up yesterday, I said Michael Jackson's siblings, and it listed 9, but it didn't list Michael, of course, because I said, hey, I want to know Michael's siblings.
Marlon's twin brother died shortly after birth, which is why the and Janet. Brandon, Marlon's twin brother, died shortly after birth, which...
Damn. Marlon's twin brother died shortly after birth, so I guess, you know, maybe that's...
Which is why the Jackson household is usually discussed in terms of the 9 surviving children. But Janet Jackson isn't depicted in the film, despite being Michael's youngest sibling and one of the most famous members of the family in her own right. Vanity Fair notes that her career as an actress and pop star was already underway during the period the film covers. To be fair, Janet was born in 1966, so she would have been quite young during much of the Jackson 5's early rise. Still, omitting her might leave some viewers scratching their heads. Number 2. Joseph was physically and verbally abusive. Right.
Joe, do you have any at all bad feelings about the way Michael was raised? I know you're denying the stories about violence, but as you look at it, were there any mistakes you made?
I didn't make no mistakes, Larry, because Michael was raised properly. He didn't run the streets like most of those other kids that was in his neighborhood.
The movie's portrayal of Joseph Jackson as harsh, intimidating, and abusive isn't simply Hollywood dramatization. Michael Jackson spoke publicly and extensively about his father's treatment, and other Jackson family members also described Joseph's severe discipline.
I don't think he realized to this day how scared. I mean scared. So scared that I would regurgitate.
You would vomit.
Joseph himself often defended his methods as necessary, arguing that he kept his children away from danger and pushed them towards greatness. But that
kept them away from the danger, and then, just portrayed the danger inside the house. Like, oh, I know it was happening to them kind of thing. Like, they're not doing drugs or anything, but, like, I'm doing, that harm of,
Defense does not erase what Michael said the experience did to him. The film is strongest when it shows...
I feel like, too, like I said this, and I'm going to say it in the video because I feel like I wanted to say this, too, whatever in caught. But so many people was saying, like he was a child, whatever. I'm not going to say the word on YouTube because I can't, whatever in caught. But if, like, Michael Jackson was that, then Jesus is a, whatever else, kind of thing. I'm not going to, obviously, like I said, say the words on YouTube. But it's like, bro, there is no possible way that somebody like him, whatever in caught, and that's, like, simply what you could say, truly believe from either, again, what I've heard. No, I don't know the man personally. I don't know any of them, whatever in caught, so I can't really say 100% with full-heartedly whatever I know for sure. And even if I did, like, people still lie or, have hidden secrets and stuff like that. But that's simply what I truly believe, or whatever in caught, and that's obviously like why you could say, have a reason, to like Michael Jackson just as many other people in the world so much.
The awful contradiction at the center of the Jackson family story. Joseph helped build one of the most successful entertainment dynasties in history, but he did it through fear, control, and emotional pressure.
There's a lot of people in America, Larry. A lot of people in America spank the kids, if they say they don't, they're lying. They're lying. And Michael was never beat by me, never beat at all.
Number 1.
I wonder when that interview was.
He lying.
I kind of want to look that up. Okay, we're taking a little, 5-second intermission, whatever in call, because I'm going to look up when this interview was, because I want to say something, but obviously I don't know, kind of thing. Let's see, live CNN, Joe Jackson talking about abuse allegations. I feel like it's also not going to be on YouTube or whatever in call, because YouTube has only been around for so long, whatever in call. When did Joe Jackson go on CNN talking about abuse allegations? 2009. So, like, the year he died? Yes, the year he died, but I just mean, was this, after or before or whatever you call it? I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll never exactly know, but...
There's a lot of people in America, Larry. A lot of people in America spank the kids, if they say they don't, they're lying. They're lying. And Michael was never beat by me, never beat.
Just simply that, I was like, oh, that's why, God struck you fucking dead, 9 years later or whatever it is kind of thing. I mean, there's no fucking way that someone could ever live with a lie like that, oh, I did not do this, whatever, and call it kind of thing. And then just live with it and be okay or whatever and call it. Not saying simply this person. I just mean, you're going to live somehow, just physically or whatever and call it kind of thing. From, all the people around you or whatever and call it, everyone thinking or knowing whatever something happened. There's no way this motherfucker lives, you know, for something like that.
Number 1. Michael cast actual gang members for the Beat It video. Right.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear, so beat it.
Unbelievable.
I didn't know that. Supposedly the people he recruited for Beat It or whatever you call it, like they were gang members. I just thought like, you know, oh, he called up a bunch of random people or whatever you call it, you know, kind of thing. They came along and they just simply, you know, like, that's the people they got or whatever you call it.
Unbelievable as it may sound, Michael is on solid ground here.
Type of people
the Beat It short
videos.
film really did bring actual Los Angeles gang members onto the set, alongside actors and professional dancers. The idea reportedly came from Michael Jackson himself, who wanted the video's anti-violence message to feel rooted in something more authentic than studio tough guy posturing.
Yeah, that's very authentic.
Director Bob Giraldi and choreographer Michael Peters then shaped that raw premise into one of the defining music videos of the 1980s. Accounts of the shoot commonly note that members of rival gangs, often identified as Bloods and Crips, were recruited through local production contacts and used mainly for atmosphere, while trained dancers handled the more precise choreography.
It just sucks because, like, you know, a person like him, whatever you call it, you know, like, again, one of the greatest within the last, you know, like, I don't know, again, 50, 75, 100 years or whatever you call it, you know, like a top 10, if you, like, pick together, like, you know, a Frank Sinatra or whatever you can call it, you have, you know, like an Aretha Franklin or just all these top tier type of people, whatever you can call it. And I'm not mentioning, you know, like Elvis, Prince, and all those other people that I mentioned because I already mentioned them, whatever you can call it, but just some other people that I kind of thought of, you could say. But I mean, wow. Insanity that will never... I'm not going to say we'll never, because, you know, like, obviously that can literally happen tomorrow or whatever you call it. Someone becomes someone or whatever you call it in the world and they're, you know, phenomenal or whatever you call it. But I just hate that the way it all had to end, or also the way it all had to go, whatever you call it. I mean, you could say, like, for the people who believe in this or whatever you call it, we're like, oh, I wouldn't be here if this didn't happen or whatever you call it or that. And I saw a great, you know, like, Trevor Noah interview or whatever you call it of him talking about this, you know, like his... mother was like either like, you know, shot or beat or something like that with like either a hammer or like, again, shot in the head or something like that, and she almost like lost her life or whatever you call it. And he's like, well, oh, my mom didn't have to go through this or whatever you call it for the me to become the person I am today or whatever you call it. So like shit like that, obviously, like, yeah, understandable or whatever you call it. But, like, say like, I don't know, obviously like either someone, you know, putting you in a place or whatever you call it, and you like, you know, working yourself up to this or whatever you call it, this person putting you in this position, whatever you call it, and you now going on this, you know, path. Yeah, oh, I wouldn't be here today because I wouldn't have worked on this if it wasn't for that or whatever you call it. Something like that I understand. So, I mean, it's different scenarios or whatever you call it, but it just sucks that Michael Jackson had to go through.
Do you think Michael handled the facts fairly, or did it bend the story too much?
Did he what?
Do you think Michael handled the facts fairly, or did it bend the story too much? Be sure to let us know in the comments.
That's gonna do it for the video. Like I said, I truly enjoyed, you know, the movie beyond words. I mean, I thought, like I said, but very biasly on my end, it was, you know, a top tier movie, like I said. And I feel like, yes, I'm saying that it was like one of the greatest movies that I've ever seen in my life. And I feel like I say that just because, you know, it's Michael Jackson. I have, you know, like you could say a fair number of other movies that I like, whatever you can call it. You know, like, for example, just real quick off the top of my head, like a Billy Madison, Notting Hill, Breakfast Club, some Disney movies or whatever you can call it, like Finding Dory, or, you know, like Lilo and Stitch or whatever it is, kind of thing. Obviously have many movies or whatever you can call it, but just, I guess you could say, on either a biopic or, you know, portraying someone's life or whatever it is, kind of thing. I mean, bravo to Jafar and, you know, all the cast and just everyone within the movie. I mean, wow, that was phenomenal. I absolutely, like I said, enjoyed 10 of 10 or, you know, above 10. The facts and fiction thing, you know, like, again, it's good knowledge, you could say, to know, because I don't really know, again, everything still about Michael Jackson. Even watching, like I said, the movie, I had no idea he was such a massive Disney fan. I thought that was so cool. I only cried twice in the movie. I know it's fucking crazy. That's, you know, I thought I was gonna, you could say, like, be crying or whatever more, but I was just so happy, dancing the entire time, singing the entire time. It was literally like when it was on my birthday in 2009, October 26, 2009. This Is It dropped, and it was just a documentary or whatever you call it, on a tour of Michael Jackson's, and I went to go see that, and I was like, you know, I want to say almost it was a Monday. Like, obviously you could go back on a calendar and see if it was, but I felt, I don't know, it probably couldn't have been on a Monday because movies usually drop on Friday. But I really enjoyed that. And I mean, just, yeah, it brought me back joy from when I was like 8 years old or whatever and call it. And, I mean, I was absolutely crushed whenever Michael Jackson, passed away and stuff like that, crying so beyond, like, heavily thinking as if I was related to this person or whatever and call it, right in front of my TV. I literally had a magazine that I had of Michael Jackson, like, I don't even know what it was, but I was like, again, such a massive fan way back when, still am now, but it's not, you could say, so much just because I've heard these songs a billion times and I can't just keep listening to them all over again. I listen to other stuff, throughout the years or whatever, but I definitely circle back and I definitely think of Michael Jackson to be, like, for, I always say this, in the olden days, Michael Jackson, you could say, like, for, like, a person in the, like, 1900s or whatever and call it, favorite artist. Nowadays, it's probably, like, a Justin Bieber or whatever and call it. Those both artists, definitely, I would say, the very top two, without a doubt, and I've said that for a little while now, just because I can't really decide. I really like Justin Bieber now kind of thing, just because, again, like, Michael Jackson's not making new music, and I feel like that's kind of how it goes for me. I listen to newer music whenever it comes out, so then I, like, listen to it, I get annoyed of it, and you could say never listen to it again. Obviously, no, that's not true, but it's partially kind of true. It'll definitely be a while before I listen to something like that again, but to veer back for, like I said, to the movie, I mean, wow, again, 10 of 10, I really enjoyed it, and just great job. Can't wait to see the next one whenever it drops, because there's going to be a sequel, guys.